the 13th, so of course I wanted to check in on all my fellow horror fans, and if anyone is watching the movies today, which there's nobody here yet, obviously, so I'm talking to nobody, but I'm also editing, which is something I do a lot of. But yeah, so sometimes, like, editing isn't boring at all. I just like to sometimes go live while I'm editing or doing other things where I can just talk to people, kind of pass the time, because some of it gets not boring but tedious. For whatever reason, I don't like doing the credits because I have to change stuff. And you know, there's always one task on things you just don't like doing. I think because the episode's like pretty much done by then and I want to get it out, and then I have to do the credits. But yeah, it's Friday the 13th. I haven't picked which Friday the 13th movie I want to watch yet, but I know I will be watching one of them. And there's 2 Friday the 13th in a row, so this month and next month. And next month I'm actually even more excited about, in March, because I'm going to be going to a Friday the 13th event. There's a whole bunch of stuff going. I'll be talking about it more and posting details because I never remember the details for anything, but I am really excited about it. It's going to be with Ari Lehman there, who was the first Jason in Friday the 13th, the kid in the water. So he's going to be there, and I think they have a whole bunch of stuff going on. So Morgan and I are both intending on being there. Movies I want to do but can't. Oh my gosh, so many of them. There's so many movies that I wish we could show, especially more modern ones, especially 80s movies, because I would so love to be able to show 80s movies, even like the Universal classic monster movies. It's just unfortunate that we're sort of stuck with public domain, although I totally get it and I don't want to steal anyone's work. So even though I regret that I have to stick to public domain or independent movies that we have permission to show, I also get it. But yeah, I would love to be able to show some of the 80s movies and even some 90s horror, but I just really love a lot of the 80s movies that are just still so fun and so interesting to watch and so interesting to talk about. And I can't. A lot of the movies that we show that are from later times are actually public domain because there was some kind of mistake, which is unfortunate, but they made a mistake or leaving out the copyright notice or whatever it is. So some of those can be shown. I love showing independent movies. That's another thing I really love, but those have to be with permission, obviously, from the creator. So if we ever show independent movies, it is with permission. But yeah, I'm doing some editing right now to get an episode out this weekend. And Morgan and I are actually going out filming in a little bit. Thank you. Yeah, I have actually quite a few tattoos. Do I date dude? I eat men. So Morgan and I have we get down similar rabbit holes, and so yes, thank you for asking that. Yes, Morgan did leave for a while. She had to take a step back for a while to focus on other things, but she has been back. Not exactly every single episode, but I would say majority of episodes you will see Morgan. We both have this idea that personal life has to come first, and it's more important to be able to focus on mental health, personal life, family things. But anytime she can make it, I love having her there. So, you know, as much as she can be, she is there. Conspiracy theorist. That is a tough question. Am I a conspiracy theorist? Yes and no. So I absolutely love conspiracy theories and I like researching them. Do I actually believe them? Majority, no. So I guess in that sense, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I just love researching them, looking into them. I love the creativity that goes into them and the rabbit holes people go down in, because my brain does similar rabbit holes, and the way that people can put things together, it amuses and entertains and fascinates me. So yeah, I love conspiracy theories and I would love to talk about them. And thought Friday the 13th, I'm so psyched about Friday the 13th today. I'm going to watch one of the Friday the 13th movies. Last time I watched Jason X, so I want to watch a different one this time. So any suggestions which one I should watch? Oh, thank you for the comment on Elvira. I, absolutely adore Elvira and Vampira too. So Vampira was one of my original inspirations. Not really stylistically, because I would say I have a lot of a like punk style to me a lot of the times, but I just absolutely love Vampira. I thought she was so cool, and I got a very early obsession with Plan 9 from Outer Space. So that definitely helped inspire me a lot. It not only in my love of bad movies and in a sort of like creative, independent, like it doesn't have to be big budget, it doesn't have to be well done to be worth watching or fun. Let's see. Timo Rear. I'm gonna take that as a huge comment or compliment that comment. So thank you. That's actually hilarious. I will accept that because being compared to her at all is awesome. I love her. That's why every daughter needs a father. Yeah, I do have a father. I have the most wonderful father ever. He's great. And I wouldn't say need, but obviously ideal. Thank you. Yeah, I am so excited. So sometimes life gets in the way. Technology doesn't cooperate. I tend to get a little bit depressed in the winter because I live in a hellscape called Wisconsin, and it's really difficult to go anywhere. I am somebody that loves and needs sunshine in my life, so I really, really struggle in the winter, and I don't even realize how badly I struggle sometimes. And when I realize, oh wow, I am behind on things, I have too much to do, and then I get overwhelmed. So definitely looking at getting more shows out. We have a few episodes filmed already that I'm in the process of editing right now, so I'm really excited to be able to have things ready to go. Let's see, Freddy versus Jason. I love Freddy versus Jason. That's a fun one. So the other one I was thinking about was maybe part 9, because I haven't watched it in a while, but I really love it, surprisingly, because it's awful. Grow up and stop dodging accountability. Okay, what accountability? Please tell me, because I am all about accountability. So if there's some way that you think I can take some, I would love to talk about that. But yeah, Freddy versus Jason, I have like a secret love for that. The only Friday the 13th I really, really strongly dislike is the remake. I have gotten in many arguments with one of my best friends, Joe Randazzo, about that, because he likes to torment me with that movie because I hate it so much. The other ones that I don't really like part 8 much, but I will watch it. And I love 7, even though it's bad. Like, I love a lot of the ones that are bad, but Saturday the 14th, surprisingly, I haven't watched it. I need to. Oh, wow. So wickedness sick, that is a very interesting comment. So it says, I once cussed out God and died in my sleep, so I begged him for forgiveness. So here I am. The crazy thing is, I know I was not dreaming. I woke up with a slash on my chest from one of the demons. And wow, that is incredible. That's very interesting. So I don't know what this experience was, but I had a very weird experience. I always kind of attributed to aliens. But yeah, like waking up with a giant hole in the wall that wasn't there when I went to bed, and my partner at the time had like a split nose, and like in our sleep. It was so weird, and a bunch of other weird stuff I won't even go into, but I know some weird stuff happens sometimes that I can't explain. Oh, cool, Roger Corman. Okay. So yeah, I'm really excited to be able to watch a Friday the 13th later. But yeah, I haven't quite decided which one yet. Like I said, last time it was Friday the 13th, I watched Jason X. So I think I have to do a different one. Um, and I'm never one to tell someone that their experiences aren't real or didn't happen or whatever. I'm tend to, if you're saying it happened to you, I'm going to believe it. I don't think I think that there's weird stuff that happens in the world. So I definitely don't think that anything is impossible. But yeah, I'm sort of in the middle of editing too. Let's see. So do I look lost? Yeah, sorry. I was looking at something to put in the credits of the episode I'm working on. So if I look lost, that was definitely why. It's probably my default look. But yeah, I'm planning on seeing Morgan in a little bit. In about an hour, Morgan and I are meeting up. Have any paranormal experiences? I haven't had as many as I would like to. I've had a couple, but I seek them out. I want to have paranormal experiences, but I just haven't had as many as I wanted to. Um, but one of the best ones I would say I had, it was at the Old Baraboo Inn in Baraboo, Wisconsin. That place is really haunted, and I went down into the basement area, which you're not really supposed to go in without the owner there, which the owner took us down there and showed us. So that was really cool of him. But a lot of bad things happened down there, and somebody was killed down there. And I swear I felt this woman walking behind me the whole time. And then, which, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. So when I was about to go up the stairs, like there was a little room before you get to the stairs. And as I was about to cross that threshold to go back up the stairs and leave, somebody whispered goodbye in my ear. And that kind of freaked me out, but it was kind of cool because I wasn't scared of this. But actual paranormal experiences, very few. And I'm not a skeptic in that I want these things to happen. I look for them. I would invite it, but I also want to sort of have evidence. I won't want to be like, well, I felt something weird, and so there was definitely a ghost. I want a little bit more than that. So, oh, hey, later. It's nice talking to you. The other one I had was at the historic Gilchrist County Jail in Florida. That one was really cool. It's a very small jail. It was like a really old one, and it's just the coolest building. And there was, I think, 3 different paranormal teams investigating there when I went there. And I was doing the thing, I can't remember what it's called now, where you have like the headphones on that like plays like the radio and you hear like snippets of things and then your eyes are covered, so I couldn't hear them and they were asking questions and then I would just say whatever I heard. But the weird thing is that I just kept getting this horrible awful pain, like something was jamming into here and it hurt like something was grabbing here but only on one side, or like jamming in here. And I would tell them that because they told me to tell them anything, and then they'd ask it to stop and it would stop, but then it would start again. And I didn't think too much of that, but then I was talking to my friend Brian Dorn, and he said, I'm pretty sure I've seen videos of people investigating that place that have had the exact same thing happen there. And I've never felt anything like that before. It's not a normal thing. I don't have any issues with my shoulder on a daily basis. So I was like, I wonder if it's psychosomatic or thing going on there. I have no idea. I'm not ruling out the idea that it could be psychosomatic because I think brains are naturally susceptible to that thing, but it would be really cool if it was an actual haunting related thing. St. Augustine. Oh, I want to go to St. Augustine so bad. I've been hearing about it. It's definitely on my bucket list of places to visit. I would absolutely love to. So, if any of you knew Dedgar Winter from Dedgar's Dark Coffin Classics, that's where I started horror hosting. He used to go all the time. We talked about visiting together. It's definitely on my list of places I really want to go. But I have heard that it is incredibly haunted. Yeah, so I'm just finishing up this episode. For whatever reason, I'm doing this on my laptop because the office where my computer is effing freezing. And I didn't want to be there right now. So I'm doing it on my laptop, which is great. And it's actually really fast, but it doesn't upload very fast. It takes forever. And then if it times out, then I got to go back and start it. So it's going to take a while. Ripley. Oh man, yeah. I want to go to, like, I live not near, but somewhat near the Dells. So there's a Ripley's, believe it or not, and I love going there. It was really fun. It's been a while, but I like that kind of thing a lot. There was a place in Vegas I wanted to go. I think you're going to know what I'm talking about, but I can't remember the name, with like the box and all this haunted artifacts. Why can I not think of anything on the spot? It's a problem. Like, as soon as I want to recall something, it goes completely blank. But no, it's not coming to me. But like a haunted museum, and I couldn't actually go when I was in Vegas because I had Lubin the Wolf Boy with me, and he wasn't old enough to go in there. I think you have to be a certain age, and apparently it was not going to happen that time, but it's still on my goal list. I know you can't film in there from what I've read, and that's okay. I'm okay filming before or after, talking about experiences. I just like to go and see everything. But lighthouse. Wow. So I love lighthouses too. I have actually a special place in my heart for lighthouses, just because I like reading, and um like, for example, Virginia Woolf, The Lighthouse, that book stayed with me. At first, when I read it, I thought it was the most boring thing I'd ever read in my entire life. And then I reread it, and parts of it really stuck with me. So, and other classic literature that has lighthouses in it. But yeah, it's actually going to be somewhat nice out today. I would say Wisconsin nice, which is around 40-ish, 49 degrees, I think is the high today, 48 or 49. So Morgan and I are going to go run around a bit and see if we can not completely freeze. That's the thing, we love filming out in different locations, but this winter is bad. We were out on Groundhog Day, and that's the episode I'm currently finishing up right now. So that should be out this weekend, but it was so cold. Like, I couldn't even walk around that much. I was freezing. I don't think I was made for Wisconsin. Oh, wow. So, uh, the pregnant mistress to a very rich man. You know, I think that's similar to what happened in Old Baraboo in, I believe it was a pregnant woman who was, I think there was like mob ties there, and there's like a post with bullet holes in it too. That place is wild. I actually got to stay in the old brothel, which is haunted. I wasn't particularly haunted myself, although, so this is completely anecdotal, so take this with a grain of salt because I am not somebody that like thinks these things are totally real. But I had one of those gimmicky apps on my phone that like will pick up words or whatever. And I was walking around because I was in a step back competition at the time and I needed to get a certain amount of steps on my Fitbit. So I was walking around the room and walking around the room and it said stop moving. And I was like, okay, never mind, I'm done. And I did stop. That was the only thing that really happened there. I slept fine, but it was a really cool experience. And I just like anywhere with history, but there was places in that living room. So we were there with Dead Girls Dark Coffin Classics and this other dead girl at the time, Geo Lockgear. She was there, and her and I both had some like crazy feelings down there in one of the rooms that it was wild. I can't explain it. I just felt something, but like I said, I don't know how much is psychosomatic, so I don't like to totally just go on my feelings. Yeah, the old brothel was really cool. If you get a chance to go to the old Baraboo Inn, that was really neat place to visit and film. There's a chair, like a bar stool there that's supposed to be super haunted. So people have experiences there. I've heard of other places. There's a place in Oconomowoc I want to go back to. It's an old cemetery, and that one is supposed to have a haunted statue. There's Kate Blood's grave in Appleton, Wisconsin that I want to go back to. It's just like I never feel like I get enough time at these places, even though I have time. I always want to go back and see if there's something I missed or another experience. So let me see if the volume's good. And the credit music. I love Rat Bat Spider. I'm really sad that they're not around anymore, but I listen to their albums still all the time. And they were so nice to write a theme song for us, and that's one of the coolest things. And plus, they did a lot of Misfits covers, and I'm a huge Misfits fan, so I've always loved the band since I first met them, I think in 2014. They were on Dead Girls Dark Coffin Classics at the time, so I might be done with this episode. That'd be cool. And then I have more to edit, so I have one that's like halfway edited, and then I have another one that's halfway filmed and partway edited. Oh, Danzig, but I don't hate Graves. There's some Michael Graves song I like, so I can't say like for sure one or the other, but if I had to pick, I'd definitely pick Danzig. I actually saw the Misfits at Riot Fest on the first time when they got together, and that was really cool. And before that, I had seen Danzig doing Misfits songs, which was cool. But the last time I saw them at Riot Fest, it was an awful performance. It was terrible, and I was still so psyched to be there just because I was there seeing the Misfits. And like I said, I didn't care that they were bad. Like, it was outside venue, the sound wasn't great, you know. Some of the times that doesn't matter. You can always go back and listen to the album at home, but just being there live with the energy is really cool. I'm actually super psyched that I'm seeing finally Dropkick Murphys in March. So I have never seen Dropkick Murphys. I've wanted to for so many years. It's been one of those things where like I was going to go see them, and then my friends were getting married that day, so obviously I went to my friend's wedding instead. I just never managed to see Dropkick, so I have tickets. They're actually playing, weirdly enough, at a Milwaukee Admirals game. So the Admirals are the Milwaukee hockey team. So I'm going to be watching hockey because I got hockey tickets to get Dropkick Murphys tickets. So I'm not the biggest sports person, but if there's an experience and I'm already committed to it, I'm going to have the most fun I can, which usually involves snacks, but maybe I'll like hockey and I will get to see Dropkick. I have probably the worst seats in the history of seats because they got really expensive, obviously, for good seats. So, I mean, But to be honest, I'm pretty short, so the majority of punk shows I've been to in my entire life, I don't actually see live music. I listen to live music while sniffing people's armpits. So this can't be much worse. Oh yeah, punk music is awesome. You know what band was actually really sounded great live? I recently went and saw Boris the Sprinkler, and that was such a good show, and their energy was so good, and it actually sounded really good. A piercing for my tongue, look. I used to have two, but I took one out because it was just getting uncomfortable after a long time. I don't know what. But I still do have the one, cuz why not? Yeah, so I love piercings. If you couldn't tell, um, people accuse me of having all kinds of issues as a result, which sure, you can think whatever you want. I just like decorating things. I've always been somebody that's like an overdresser, so it's my way of overdressing every day, I guess. I like decorating things. Tattoos too. I don't, most of them don't, some have a meaning, most of them don't. I just liked it or wanted it or had an impulse. Thank you. Is it annoying? No. It was annoying having both sometimes. So I'm really weird about my teeth, and I heard that they can be bad for your teeth. And so I really didn't want to damage the back of my teeth. So I'm really careful not to play with it. Like when people do that a lot, it'll damage your teeth. So I don't play with it. And I asked when I got the piercing to set it farther back, like as far back as you could go, just so I wouldn't risk damaging my teeth. And so the second one, they were maybe too close together or something, but it was annoying after a while. But this one is not annoying at all. It was one of the more painful ones for me personally. I've heard so many people say it didn't hurt, it wasn't a big deal. Mine hurt, it was a big deal, but it didn't last for that long, all things considered. It was just the only really annoying part was that my tongue was really swollen. And so it was hard to eat and it hurt, and you're kind of hyper aware of it all the time when you try to talk or eat. But it really only lasted a few days and then it was fine. I haven't really had any issues at all since then. And I don't even feel it in my mouth the majority of the time or notice it. Or, like, I remember it. Obviously, I know I have a tongue piercing, but I wouldn't say I'm consciously aware of it the majority of the time. Like, most of my piercings, I'm not consciously aware of. I'm very aware of these when I try to eat soup. Other than that, I wouldn't say most of them affect me at all. Where am I from? I am from Wisconsin. I've been told I have actually a pretty thick Midwestern accent, by the way. Tell me if that's true, because I don't hear it, but I'm not great with accents. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's annoying at all. And the best thing to me about piercings, especially tongue piercings, if you don't like it, you just take it out and it heals up. And so it's like, to me, always worth trying to see if they like it or if something bothers me. Have any information about LA? Do you mean like Los Angeles or Louisiana? Los Angeles. I used to actually live right around there. I used to live in Claremont, and I am actually going back there sometime later this spring, just for a couple, like 2 days. But yeah, I used to live in Claremont for about 4 years. So that's LA County, but I wasn't in LA proper that much. I've been there various times just flying into there, but I wouldn't say I've spent a whole lot of time there. I used to have family that lived in Orange County, so close by, so we go visit there too sometimes. But yeah, I went to the LA County Fair once. That was really, really intense for somebody from Wisconsin. Oh, that's cool. So yeah, Persian, and you want to immigrate there. So what draws you to LA? Okay, so you got, did you get your nipples pierced at the show? And you know what, for me, that has not been one of the most painful ones. Like, by far, one of the easiest ones. It just takes a long time to heal. You got to be careful. But other than that, like, past the initial piercing, it really didn't hurt that much. I mean, yes, the first, like, jamming the needle through your nipple, it's not fun. But after that, it really wasn't a big deal. But yeah, I think everybody's different on that because, like I said, so many people have told me my tongue was easy, there was no issues, and mine was like, oh, that effing hurt. Which I could swear here, but I just choose not to in case there's kids, which I tend to swear around kids accidentally anyway. And this is not meant for kids, but it's also not meant for kids. So what's your band like? So I actually have to go in a minute. I just got a text from Morgan that she's all ready to go, so I'm gonna go get her and we're gonna go film. Matt Rife owned drink in Conjuring House. No, I didn't. Oh, that's cool. I like the Annabelle doll. I think that's really neat. I am one of those, like, I guess, people that is like, is the Annabelle doll haunted? What actually happened? Like, I want so badly to believe these things. Oh, that's cool. It said goth metally band. Okay, so I like some goth. I would say primarily I'm a punk and psychobilly person and oi and ska, but I guess mainly punk and psychobilly. But I do like some metal. I'm not the biggest metal person, but the Wolf Kid is a huge metal fan, so I will definitely listen to metal music with him because, you know. Oh, hello from Wisconsin. Fellow Midwesterner. Iowa's Midwest, right? Is it? He does have good taste. Yeah, I will say that kid has some of the best taste in music I've ever seen. You know, I never know. Like, so I've heard Midwest defined in different ways, but I thought it was like, from my conception, it's part of the Midwest. But then other people would be like, no, it's the whatever they say about like that area, like Iowa, Nebraska, Kansas. 9 Inch Nails. I wouldn't say I'm a huge fan, but I do like 9 Inch Nails, and I've definitely listened to them a fair share. A lot of the music I like, luckily, is stuff that is not huge. So when I want to go to shows, it's usually not like that expensive or that big a deal or that crowded. I would say the exceptions are bands like Misfits, Dropkick Murphys, Flogging Molly, Rancid, uh, those kind of bands, like the more well-known or mainstream ones, Green Day, maybe No Effects. But yeah, I do like those things. I've never seen Marilyn Manson, but I'd like to. So I don't actually, so about being Persian and living in LA, I didn't know that about it, and I think that can be really cool. I think there's a lot of things that are really great about LA, and I don't know what it would be like to be an immigrant there, unfortunately, but I think California is beautiful and the weather is nice most of the time. And I met a lot of great people out there. And I'm definitely one of those, like, I have a good sense of adventure. So, you know, if it's a goal, like, go for it. The Beatles, okay, I like the Beatles too. I have actually listened to a lot of like oldies and stuff like that. So I actually am a conspiracy theorist about the Beatles. I do believe that Paul McCartney is dead. Actually, I won't say 100% believe it, but I really want to believe it. But yeah, I gotta take off. I gotta go get Morgan. We're gonna go run around outside and have some fun. Enjoy somewhat nicer weather. Thank you so much. Yes, if I can get to St. Augustine, that would be a dream. So thank you. Yeah, I will definitely be posting about it if I do. So it was great to talk to you guys. Thank you for passing the time with me while I was editing. Happy Friday the 13th, and take care.